Hey, thanks for coming by. Today's video is about Will and Harry. I'm wondering if they'll get back together. I'm having this feeling that they might. And I also wanted to share with you that you can do divination or get a vibe or intuition about with anything that you want. For example, you can use a piece of paper and you can crumple it and look at it, and that can give you the information that you want. For me, it's about the process of crumpling. And so when I think about Harry, I was crumpling it and I felt very tight, and I feel like there's a lot of pointy corners in here. And when I pull one, it's not very green when I'm tearing up paper, but when I pull one for William, it feels very like I can't squeeze it. Like it's not that it's open, but there's resistance. And maybe he's more open, or maybe he's more solid. Maybe that's it. So when it comes to their relationship, I know it had its ups and downs, as brothers do, but I am going to wrinkle up a piece of paper for their relationship now. And then I want to think about how it might go. Oh, it's very tight. So I think this reminds me of something that's very old and basic, and basic's not the right word, but something that has depth to it, that has been around for a long time. I almost feel like they have a karmic history together, some past lives. So this is part of that pattern, that karmic pattern that they're trying to figure out. So it might be repeated. Maybe it's having to do with royalty and previous English things, but it may just be that they were sisters or mother and daughter or whatever it was. But I feel like there's a history. So it has depth. That means it's not going to go away easily. And they will maybe not join hands and sing Kumbaya, but they will get together again. And my intuition tells me, let me just, like, there will be some reuniting. I do feel positive when I'm squeezing the paper, but I think it's going to be, like, again, I said this before in my other videos, I see light, colors, textures in my vision. So that gives me a sense of, in time wise, like months, what months would be lighter, colorful, texturing. So not this year, next year sometime there'll be the beginning, but it's not going to be great. There's going to be a lot of issues. Of course, there's a lot of issues already, because Harry really burned a lot of bridges with his book and the Netflix documentary and all the stuff that he said. So I think eventually, but I do think there's a karmic pattern. I also think there's depth, which makes sense because they've been brothers since, forever, since they've been born. And they only have each other, really, to bond, in regards to their mom. They share their mom. And especially if Charles gets sick, I think that's going to really bond them together as well. The other thing is, I think they will totally, if once William becomes king, which I think it'll be, I want to say 5 to 7 years, then I think Harry will be really difficult to get back in. It'll be really difficult for him to get back into the royal family the way that I guess he wants to, and they would accept him to be. I think eventually he'll go on to serve. Like I said in the other video, he's a Virgo. His energy and his life is about serving and helping others. He's gotten off track, and he's trying to, teach people at this moment with Meghan, and they think they know better, and they want to talk about everything. But that's comes from a place of pain. So ultimately, he's going to move himself out of that energy and be able to serve the royal family or the energy of the world in some way. Maybe it'll be outside the family, but somewhere in the world he'll go back to doing that. So I do feel like they will reunite, partially to a small degree, next year. And then within a few years, I think they will begin to have more conversations. And I do feel like by the time I mean, this is a long time, but by the time they end their lives, they'll be to that point where it won't matter anymore, and they'll have the bonding back to the point where it's really positive. And I think Catherine will have a lot to do with it, although she's still angry at Megan for a lot of different things. She's also angry with Harry. But yeah, so divination and energy can be felt through holding things, through just sitting quietly. But for me, any kind of thing, I sit with me and I can hold it. Like the tarot cards or oracle cards. These are oracle cards, shamanic healing. I can pull a card about it, but I also, the energy of my hands, because I think we all have, I'm not a Reiki master, but I have this ability to energetically feel colors and energy within people. In fact, I did that when I was at Tumbleweed. I was at a resource center for homeless youth, and I used to do that for the guys, mostly guys there, but there were some girls, and they loved that I could help them validate them. And it wasn't a lot, but it was just what I can do. And we also did art projects, and I helped them just talk about spirituality and stuff like that. I just listened. I didn't guide them. I just gave them some time to talk to somebody, because when they're homeless and young, and usually their families thought they were expendable. So masculine energy. This is a card that I pulled for William and Harry, but masculine energy was also at Tumbleweed, so the homeless youth resource center. Yeah. So my feeling is that it's just egos, men, egos. Not that women can't be egotistical, but standing your ground. I think that's what's happening right now with the two of them. Obviously, and as it should, because they have to protect their families, and they feel like they both have been violated to some degree, whether you like it or not. But anyway, that was it. I just wanted to pop on here, and end up being a little bit longer than I thought. But I do think they will get together eventually, and they have a karmic pattern, and they're working it out. And this is something they've done before. And in fact, Harry probably has got a lot of karmic issues that he's worrying about or dealing with. So thank you for coming by, and hope to see you soon. If you like this, the royal stuff, if you're more interested in that, let me know in the comments, and please subscribe and like. That helps me. I'm just starting out and trying to figure out what works. So thanks.